Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I am coming to you live from Warren Field in Brookline, Massachusetts, here for today's high school varsity baseball contest between the visiting Boston Latin Academy Dragons and the hosting Brookline High Warriors. As you can see, Brookline warming up in the field, getting ready to get this one started, so let's not waste any time. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan at Warren Field, and you are watching Brookline High Baseball.
Jernigan launches this one deep to left. Left fielder on his horse, looking back, it's off the wall. Runner immediately taking off. Hard hit right at first. Polgreen's got the double play. First pitch gets away from the catcher. Hart's taking off. He's coming in. Dives in. Brookline has the lead.
There. Oh, come on. Okay. Okay, sound's back. Oh my gosh. What a horrible way to start a broadcast. Anyway, hello again, everybody. So sorry about that. So Boston Latin Academy gets on the board first on that one. Off of a leadoff walk and then an E5, as you could see there. And this one is skied out to left, and it's going to drop in front of the left fielder. Runner is going to hold at third. Batter is going to go down to second and come in safely with a double. So a rough start to the game for Brookline. Runner is now at second and third with nobody out, and they've already got a run on the board against Brookline's starting pitcher, Charlie Engelman. That one is going to miss for ball one. My deepest apologies again for the rough start to this live stream, as my audio decided to cut out right before the first pitch. But we've got it back for now, so let's just hope it stays that way. That one is going to miss. And it is a 2-1 count to the batter, number 15. This one's a hard grounder, blocked by Engelman himself, holds the runners, and throws the batter out at first. So Engelman takes care of business himself to get the first out of the inning. That first pitch is going to be strike one. This one skied out to right. Diving catch made out and right by Elias Brendel. He throws for home. It's not going to be in time. One run is going to come in on the sac fly. But a nice catch for the second out of the inning. Made out and right by number 23, Elias Brendel. Boy, I just hope my my camera caught a good glimpse of that one. Because as those of you who have watched my live streams before know, right field can be a bit of a tough spot for me to capture. This pitch is in for a strike. So Latin Academy now up 2-0 over Brookline with 2 down here in the top of the first. Runner at third. And reaches out, hits a dribbler foul up the third base line. So that's going to be strike 2. Oh, and 2 count. And fouls this one off. Staying alive at 0-2. At the plate for Boston Latin is number 18, Calum Burns. I do have a full roster for Boston Latin Academy, and I will fill in the names that I fell behind on while I was dealing with the audio problems. Swing and a miss. And that is going to end the inning. They needed confirmation. The catcher did not drop it, but Engelman gets out of the inning, allowing 2 runs, both unearned. And that will do it for the top of the first inning. Hello once again, everybody. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, coming to you live from Warren Field in Brookline, Massachusetts, where the Brookline High Baseball Warriors are taking on the Boston Latin Academy Dragons. I'm just typing in the rosters as quickly as I can. As I said, I kind of fell behind on things. You guys might have noticed I didn't have any audio when first pitch was starting. As, well, my microphone decided to be a little difficult. But we've got things under control now. And here's hoping that things stay under control as we get ready for the start of the bottom of the first inning. Starting on the mound for BLA is number 13, Brennan Shapiro. And he'll face Brookline's first three hitters, the shortstop, number 5, Keenan Sawada, the second baseman, number 2, Owen Hoffman, and the right fielder, number 23, Elias Brendel. So after a meeting at the mound for Boston Latin, up comes for Brookline the shortstop, number 5, Keenan Sawada. Sawada, as you can see, leading Brookline in a number of offensive statistical categories: hits, walks, steals, and runs scored, as he reaches low and fouls that one off for strike 1. 10 for 33, 9 walks, 5 stolen bases, 7 runs scored, and 4 RBI for Sawada. He doubled his RBI total for the season in yesterday's game against Newton North as he skies this one foul, and it's going to be caught by the third baseman for out number 1. Of course, yesterday's game against Newton North was a tough one for Brookline, a 10-7 loss to their rival. Held a 7-6 lead going into the 7th and final inning, but could not hold off the Tigers, as this one is going to miss for ball 1 to the Brookline second baseman, number 2, Owen Hoffman. Hoffman coming into this game batting 4 for 21 with 4 walks, 1 hit by pitch, 2 runs scored, and 1 RBI. As that one is going to miss as well for ball 2. Good crack of the bat here from Hoffman, but right at the right fielder for out number 2. It's 2 down quick. Now coming up with 2 out and the bases empty, the right fielder, number 23, Elias Brendel. That one's going to miss low for ball 1. Brendel got the scoring started for Brookline in the first inning yesterday with an RBI double, his first extra base hit of the year. Now he is staring down a 2-0 count. For the season, Brendel 4 for 14 with that one double from yesterday, 3 walks, and 1 RBI. That one is going to be in there for strike 1. That one is going to miss as well for ball 3. 3-1, the count to Brendel. And that's a grounder, bounces off the glove of the first baseman. The second baseman cannot recover, and Brendel is going to reach first safely. So that one might be scored a hit. It might be scored an E3. I'll double check on Game Changer a little later, but for now, the important thing for Brookline is they've got a runner on with 2 outs, and up comes the pitcher, number 17, Charlie Engelman. First pitch comes in high. Interestingly enough, Engelman usually wears number 22 at home and 17 on the road, but today, I guess Brookline wearing their road jerseys because Engelman wearing number 17. As this one skips in the dirt for ball 2. That's a grounder. Oh, we're back. And that is going to be out number 3 as Ryan Kravitz grounds out short to end the first inning. Well, it's been a perfectly frustrating first inning, both for me on the stream and for Brookline on the field so far. The score after 1, Boston Latin Academy 2, Brookline 0. No, don't. Come on. Okay. What? What? No! Just got it back. What is this? on. Oh, okay. Okay, there we go. Okay, audio is back. And we're hoping that it stays. As we get ready for the top of the second inning here. And we're just going to try and keep going. Top of the second inning. Engelman back on the mound for his second inning of work. First pitch. I believe I heard a strike call. This next one is low for ball one. One and one the count. And that one's going to miss outside for ball two. And this one is going to be a dribbler foul, the third base side for strike two. And that one is in there for strike three. Engelman puts down the first hitter looking. And that is one down in the inning. That was Harry Fitzgerald, the right fielder, number 6. Now at the plate, taking ball one, is the left fielder, number 2, Drew Isberg. As that's going to be a low ball 2. That one is going to be a low ball 3. And that one hits the zone for strike 1. And that one's going to be low for ball 4. Isberg drawing a free pass to first. And we're going to have a meeting at the mound. With Engelman and his catcher, Ben Doctoroff, and Brookline head coach, Brendan O'Connor. Leaving Engelman out there, and coming up to the plate for Boston Latin Academy, the second baseman, number 1, Henry Melkonian. One down, a runner at first. Boston Latin leading Brookline 2-0. And that one is going to miss for ball 1. And that one is in there, strike 1, 1-1 the count. Isberg taking a very noticeable lead off from first, as this one misses low and away for ball 2. This one comes in high, ball 3, 3-1, the count to Melkonian. That one is in there, strike 2. A full count. Runner at first, 1 down. And that one is going to come in low, and back-to-back walks put runners at first and second with 2 down as we cycle back to the top of the order for the designated hitter, number 17, Nuri Gutman. Gutman last time up drew a walk and later came in to score as he takes low, ball 1 there. That one in there, strike 1. Isberg at second, Melkonian at first. That one is also going to miss low for ball 2. Engelman struggling a bit to find the strike zone right now. And the struggles continue with outside ball 3. 3-1 the count. 1 ball away from loading the bases on 3 straight walks. Skies this one deep to right. Brendel going back, and he's got the catch. Rifles it back to the infield. Isberg is going to advance to first, but a very important second out. Now coming to the plate for Boston Latin, the center fielder, number 10, Jack Shapiro. Shapiro, his last time up, reached on an E5, and later came in to score. Now up with 2 down and runners at the corners as Engelman checks on Melkonian over at first. With runners at the corners, it is a prime position for an attempted double steal for Boston Latin Academy. This pitch is fouled off, and that'll be strike 1. That one is going to miss outside for ball 1. That one comes in high for ball 2. That one misses outside. Doctoroff thought about throwing down to first, but nothing doing, and we've got another 3-1 count. This one skied out to center, and it's going to be caught. No, it's dropped. It was dropped out in center field. Oh no, Brookline's had a couple of those this season, and that one is going to cost them a run. Isberg comes in to score. Boston Latin now up 3-0. And now Fouling off the first pitch is the Boston Latin pitcher, number 13, Brennan Shapiro. Brennan Shapiro, last time up, he hit a double. As this one comes in low for ball 1. That one in there for strike 2. Engelman trying to get out of the inning with just 1 run allowed. Almost got out of it with no runs allowed, but an error has brought in Boston Latin's 3rd run, as that pitch is going to miss well outside for ball 2. And that one is going to miss as well for ball 3. So a full count with 2 down and 2 runners on. Runners taking off as Shapiro skies this one into shallow left, and Leander Gosling is under it. And that will end the inning. A 3rd unearned run allowed here in the top of the 2nd. It's been a shaky start for Brookline. They head into the bottom of the 2nd, trailing by 3. It will be the 6-7 hitters due up for Brookline: Avery Melton, Harrison Siegel, and Leander Gosling. Now at this moment in between innings, and now that my audio is not futzing out on me, I'm going to take a brief moment and give out the starting lineups for both teams. For the Boston Latin Academy Dragons, leading off the designated hitter number 17, Nori Gutman. Batting 2nd, center fielder number 10, Jack Shapiro. Batting 3rd, the pitcher number 13, Brennan Shapiro. Batting cleanup, the shortstop number 15, Theo Denner. Batting 5th, the catcher number 5, Orlando Giacino. Batting 6th, the 3rd baseman number 18, Caleb Burns. Batting 7th, the right fielder number 6, Harry Fitzgerald. Batting 8th, the left fielder number 2, Drew Isberg. And batting 9th, the 2nd baseman number 1, Henry Melkonian. Just playing the field for Boston Latin Academy today, the 1st baseman number 14, Mike Hampton. For Brookline, leading off the shortstop number 5, Keenan Sawada. Batting 2nd, the 2nd baseman number 2, Owen Hoffman. Batting 3rd, right field, number 23, Elias Brendel. Batting cleanup, the pitcher number 17, Charlie Engelman. Batting 5th, the left fielder number 3, Ryan Kravitz. 6th, the designated hitter number 14, Avery Melton. 7th, the center fielder number 20, Harrison Siegel. 8th, the 3rd baseman number 15, Leander Gosling. And batting 9th, the catcher number 8, Ben Doktoroff. Just playing the field for Brookline today, the 1st baseman number 16, Sam Polgreen. So better late than never there, as we've got our full lineups. And now stepping up to the plate for Brookline, the designated hitter, number 14, Avery Melton. Melton takes ball 1 from Brennan Shapiro. Melton so far this season, 2 for 16, 4 walks, 1 hit by pitch, 1 stolen base, and 1 run scored. Hits a dribbler up the 3rd base side. It's going to die on the grass. Barehanded, thrown to 1st, and they got him. Great defensive hustle by the 3rd baseman, Caleb Burns. And that is going to get the first out of the inning on a play that was anything but routine. Now coming up for Brookline, the center fielder, number 20, Harrison Siegel. First pitch is high for ball 1. Siegel coming off a very productive day against Newton North yesterday, 2 for 2 with 2 hit by pitches, 3 runs scored, and 2 RBI. He leads the team in RBI with 6, and in hit by pitches with an identical 6. That one is going to miss as well, so we've got an early hitters count to Siegel at 3-0. In the first inning, Brookline got runners to second and third. Couldn't do anything further. Siegel hits a hard grounder, fielded by Burns again at third. Long throw, dropped. Siegel reaches safely. So that's either going to be a single or an E5. So we'll see how they score that one. And in the meantime, up to the plate, the third baseman, number 15, Leander Gosling. Check back at first on Siegel. You saw on the stats, Siegel, 4 stolen bases so far this season. He ranks second on the team, just barely trailing Sawada. And that one is going to miss, or I think that one actually hit for strike one. Gosling 1 for 5 so far this season with 3 walks and a run scored. Siegel taking off. Gosling swings and misses, and Siegel slides in safely, tying the team lead in steals with his 5th snagged bag of the season. Oh, and 2 the count to Gosling. So that one's going to sail in high for ball 1. That one skips in the dirt, ball 2. And now they're going to turn around, check on Siegel. He just barely dives back safely. That one was a lot closer than you would expect of a pickoff move at second base. But Latin Academy almost got him there. And that one's going to skip away. And Siegel is going to take third on the wild pitch, and an erroneous throw goes into left field. Siegel's going to come all the way around. So the pitch itself was a ball, but Siegel takes third on a wild pitch and then scores on the E2 as the throw from the catcher to third sailed into left field. And that is going to be ball 4. So Gosling battles his way to his 4th walk of the year after falling behind 0-2. And brief meeting at the mound between Jacino and Shapiro. As for Brookline, up comes the catcher, number 8, Ben Doktoroff. We've got our first note in the live chat from Barbara Jo Metzger. Go Brookline Warriors. If there's anything you'd like to say, I encourage you to say it in the live chat. And of course, as always, be sure to like and subscribe. But in the meantime, up steps Doktoroff, runner at first. First pitch skips in the dirt, but is well blocked by Jacino. That's going to be ball 1. Gosling takes off, and Doktoroff fouls it off. Gosling will have to head back to first. Brookline showing some aggression on the base paths here in this one. That is good to see. Coming into this game, Brookline had 16 stolen bases on the year. Last year, they finished the season with 36. Throw back to first, gets away from the first baseman, and Gosling is going to take advantage and head down to second. So while Gosling actually does not have any stolen bases so far this season, that is the second time he has ran down to second off of some kind of defensive miscue. Oh, no. No, 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 no. Had it. There it is. Okay. Oh my gosh. That pitch is going to miss Sawada. 3-1 the count now to the Brookline shortstop. I am unsure what to do about this mic at the moment, but I'm going to continue juggling things as best I can. And that one's going to miss. Sawada draws a free pass, and that is going to load the bases as Doktorov and Sawada reach on back-to-back walks. And so with one down, the bases are loaded for Brookline, as up comes the second baseman, number 2, Owen Hoffman. A meeting at the mound with the entire infield after a rough turn of events for Brennan Shapiro. Brookline trailing in this one 3-1. Last year, these two teams faced off in Boston. Brookline got the win in that one 5-1 as then senior pitcher Jack Martell turned in a performance for the ages with 12 strikeouts to lead Brookline to victory there. Right now, Brookline just hoping to come back in this one, trailing by 2, but a big opportunity with the bases loaded and one down. And up comes Owen Hoffman. Hoffman, his last time up, he flew out to right, as this one comes in high for ball 1.
Hoffman, good contact. That's going to drop out in left center. Doctoroff rounding third. This is going to bring in 2 runs and tie the game. Hoffman is racing down to second. And that's a game-tying double for Owen Hoffman. Not sure if they'll actually score that one like a single and an advance on the throw or something like that, but for right now I'm scoring it a 2-run double as Gosling and Doctoroff both come in to tie this one up at 3 apiece. Now runners at second and third and 1 down. Up comes the right fielder, number 23, Elias Brendel. Brendel skies this one into right. Right fielder comes in, makes a sliding catch. The runner's tag. Quick throw to home, but it's not going to be in time as Sawada comes in with the go-ahead score off the sac fly from Brendel. Two down now here in the bottom of the second as Brookline has rallied their way back to a lead. Now up is the pitcher, number 17, Charlie Engelman. And that one is in there for strike 1. And Engelman as the pitcher got to be feeling much better about coming up in this situation with his team now ahead. That one curves in again. Shapiro fools him twice with the curve. That is an 0-2 count. Hoffman standing at third. Engelman slices this one high into foul territory and out of play. And this one sails in high for ball 1. Engelman, his last time up, drew a walk, but was left stranded. 1-2 pitch. Engelman hits a dribbler back to the pitcher. It's picked up and thrown to first, and that will be out number 3. So that ends the second inning, but Brookline with a successful comeback in the second. Going into the third inning, the score, Brookline 4, Boston Latin 3. And now as Engelman returns to the mound with his team ahead, let me take a look back at some of the plays I wasn't sure about scoring. They do call Hoffman's hit a single and an advance on the throw. I thought that might be a possibility. So just correct that one. Siegel reached on an error, so that was not a hit for Siegel as he reached on an E5. Going back to the bottom of the first inning, Elias Brendel did reach on an E3. It was not a single. And that should clear everything up. So into the top of the third we go. Brookline with a 4-3 advantage now after a 3-run rally on the bottom of the second. Catalyzed by some good base running from Harrison Siegel. And 3 straight walks by Leander Gosling, Ben Doctoroff, and Keenan Sawada, and a 2-run single by Owen Hoffman. That first pitch from Engelman is going to miss for ball 1. At the plate for Boston Latin is the shortstop, number 15, Theo Denner. Denner, his last time up, grounded out back to the pitcher.
as he takes strike one there. And that one is fouled off for strike two. In the live chat, we see some good support for Brookline from Greg Hoffman. Let's go Brookline, go O, go E. Brookline bats are hot. Indeed, the Brookline bats did produce in that second inning rally. Funnily enough, Hoffman's single, the only base hit for Brookline in that rally, as that one is going to skip in the dirt for ball two. But, you know, in high school ball, you got to find ways to get runs, no matter how explosive it or not explosive it might be, as that one is going to be fouled off and Daner stays alive at 2-2. That one fouled off again as Daner continues to battle. This one's a hard grounder, and it's going to go just foul. That one was very close to being fair, but just barely bounced foul. And so that'll stay a 2-2 count to Daner. And that one's going to be in the dirt. And that will give us a full count. And that's going to be ball four. So Daner, with a very hard-fought at-bat, draws a free pass to first. Now coming up, the catcher, number 5, Orlando Giacino. First pitch is in the dirt. Daner is going to take off for second and advance safely on the wild pitch. And another one, this time blocked by Doctoroff. Going to throw down to third. But again, safe for Daner. Back-to-back wild pitches. Now put the potential tying run at third. That one in there for strike one. This one is lifted out to right, and it's dropped. Another dropped ball in the outfield for Brookline is going to bring in the tying run. Oh, Brendel was thinking about the throw back to home before he completed the catch. And the E9 is going to bring in Daner. Now coming up, the third baseman, number 18, Callum Burns. Both teams finding ways to score ugly here in this one, and we've actually got a new hitter This is not Burns. This is going to be number 12, Robbie Ricard. So 1 out, runner at first, and we are all squared at 4 apiece here in the top of the 3rd inning. This first pitch is going to miss for ball 1. And this one in the dirt, but well blocked by Doctoroff. That'll be ball 2. That one just misses outside, ball 3. A 3-0 count to Ricard. And that one is in there for strike 1. But that one is going to miss, and that'll be ball 4. Timeout called now by Brookline as the coach again coming out to talk to his pitcher, as that is another walk. That marks his 4th through the first 2 and 3rd innings of work. Coach O'Connor sticking with his starter for now as they've got runners at first and second with 1 down. Up comes the right fielder, number 6, Harry Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald, his last time up, he led off the top of the 2nd with a strikeout. And that one is going to miss inside, ball 1. That one is going to miss as well for ball 2. That one is going to miss as well for ball 3. That one is in there, strike 1. And another one in there for strike 2. Full count now to Fitzgerald. 1 out, 2 runners on. Payoff pitch misses, and that is back-to-back walks to load the bases for the Dragons. And the coach coming back out, and that might be it for Engelman. And it looks like that will be the end of the day for the Brookline starter. And it looks like they are going to hand the ball to Owen Hoffman. So Hoffman going to have to move from second base to the mound. Don't know if they had a chance to warm him up in the bullpen between innings. And I don't think they did because he batted last inning. So Hoffman being asked to come in rather hastily. And in a very tough situation with the bases loaded and one out. So Hoffman will be facing Drew Isberg next. Engelman leaves the game having allowed 4 runs. I don't think any of them will actually go in the scorebook as earned runs, as defensive mistakes plagued Brookline throughout this one. Hoffman, meanwhile, let's take a look at his pitching stats so far this season. This will be his 4th appearance of the season. He hasn't gotten a chance to pitch a ton. He's only pitched 1 2/3 innings so far. He's got an 8.40 ERA, a 2.40 WHIP, and 5 strikeouts. As he came on for an inning in the season opener against Newton South, came on against Braintree, but only faced 1 batter before Braintree triggered the mercy rule. And then he pitched 2/3 of an inning recently. Now here he is, his 4th appearance, first pitch, in there for strike 1 to Isberg. Isberg, his last time up, drew a walk, later came in to score on an E8. And 2 straight strikes from Hoffman. Quick 0-2 count. And he tips that one off to stay alive at 0-2. Fitzgerald at first, Ricard at second, a courtesy runner for Jacino, number 16 at third. As that curveball just misses the zone, that'll be ball 1. This one is skied. It's going to stay in the infield into foul territory. Engelman tracking it, and he's got the catch for out number 2. After leaving the mound, Engelman now manning the spot at third. Gosling moving from third base to second base. And now coming up, the second baseman, number 1, Henry Melkonian. First pitch comes in low for ball 1. Melkonian, his last time up, he drew a walk. Skies this one out to left center now, and the fielders aren't going to be able to grab it. That's going to be a clean hit, and that's going to bring in the go-ahead run for the Dragons. Courtesy runner, number 16, comes in to score. And now we cycle back to the top of the lineup with the designated hitter, number 17, Nuri Gutman. First pitch is going to miss for ball 1. That one in there for a strike. And that one just completely left his arm. That one just flew out of his hand for a wild pitch, but none of the runners advance. It'll simply be a 2-1 count to Gutman. This one cracked over the shortstop's head into left. One run is going to score as Gutman with an RBI single. Ricard comes in to score on that one. And now it's still 2 out, and the base is still loaded. Up comes the center fielder, number 10, Jack Shapiro. First pitch, and he slices that one foul and out of play. Shapiro, his last time up, he reached on an E8, and before that he reached on an E5. That one sails over his head, but well snagged by Doctoroff to simply make it ball 1. That one is going to miss for ball 2. And another hard crack. That's going to go out to center. Another base hit. This time 2 runs are going to come in. And they caught him at home! Oh my gosh, they caught the second runner at home. Or did they? Wait, was the second runner safe at home or was he out? I thought they signaled he was out, because if he's out, then that's the end of the inning. It looks like the officials are going to confer over the call here. At the very least, that is a single for Shapiro. And it's at least 1 RBI. Fitzgerald scores, there's no question. But the runner is out at home, and that's the... Is that... Oh, that's just the second out of the inning. I miscounted the number of outs. That's on me. So a second run does score for Boston Latin. I don't know why I thought there were 2 outs. Lost track of things there, but now there are 2 outs. And that's fouled off. Maybe I mistakenly put an out on the board when Jacino reached on the E9. Maybe. But either way, now at the plate is the pitcher, number 13, Brennan Shapiro. So this one is fouled off for strike 2. This one comes in high for ball 1. Runners at second and third, still 2 out. And that one comes in low for ball 2. And that one sails, wild pitch, runner coming in, but the catcher caught him. Good hustle by Doctoroff, or no, they didn't catch him. I thought for sure Doctoroff had got him, but I guess not. So another run comes in on the wild pitch. That is Gutman. And that one is going to miss for ball 4. Runners now at the corners. It is an 8-4 lead for Boston Latin. As now they have battled, they have hit all the way around the order here in this 3rd inning. Now up the shortstop, number 15, Theo Daner. And Daner skies this one foul and out of play for strike 1. Daner led off this inning with a walk. He advanced to 3rd on a pair of wild pitches and then came in to score on what would have been a sac fly for Jacino, but instead was an E9. Shapiro takes off for 2nd, and they don't stop him. That'll simply be ball 1. Brennan Shapiro at 2nd, Jack Shapiro at 3rd. And that one is going to miss for ball 2. And that one misses well high, ball 3. That one is in the zone for strike 2. And that one is in there for strike 3. Or is it? I've officially lost count of everything. I thought it was strike 3. The umps are saying no. And so he lifts this one out to left. Kravitz under it, and ultimately it didn't matter. So Brookline finally gets out of the top of the 3rd as the Dragons put 5 on the board in that one. And we move to the bottom of the 3rd with Boston Latin leading Brookline 8-4. So as of right now, if the lead does not change for the rest of this game, Engelman would be the pitcher on credit for the loss, as although he left the game with a tie score, the go-ahead run was scored by a runner that was credited to Engelman. Brookline will be trying to get back in this one, starting with their 5, 6, 7 hitters, Kravitz, Melton, and Siegel. Brennan Shapiro back on the mound after what was a rough 2nd inning for him. But now his offense has given him another lead to work with. And we'll see what Brookline can amass here. First to the plate for Brookline here in the bottom of the third, the left fielder, number 3, Ryan Kravitz. Kravitz, his last time up, he grounded out to short. First pitch low for ball 1. This one is skied out to center. Center fielder tracking it, and he's got it on the run for out number 1. Now coming up for Brookline, the designated hitter, number 14, Avery Melton. First one in there, strike 1. Melton, his last time up, he grounded out to third. And this one's a good crack of the bat, but it is going to drop in front of the left fielder. Clean single for Melton. So Brookline's got 1 runner on and 1 out. And now up comes the center fielder, number 20, Harrison Siegel. Siegel, his last time up, reached on an E5, later came all the way around to score off a steal, a wild pitch, and a throwing error. Siegel lines one down the left field line, but it is foul. That one is going to miss high for ball 2. Swing and a miss there. That's going to be strike 2. And launches that one out to left. Sliding catch is made out in left field. Well played by Isberg. And that is going to be out number 2. Now coming up, the second baseman, number 15, Leander Gosling. Big swing and a miss there, strike 1. And that one is going to miss high for ball 1. Gosling, his last time up, he drew a walk. Later came in to score. As this one skips in the dirt for ball 2. And that one is going to miss for ball 3. And that's ball 4. Another walk for Gosling. And Brookline's got 2 runners on as up comes the catcher, number 8, Ben Doctoroff. That one is going to miss outside, ball 1. Doctoroff, his last time up, he also drew a walk. As last time around the order, Gosling, Doctoroff, and Sawada drew back-to-back-to-back walks. Now 2 down with runners at first and second. As that one is low, almost gets away, but Jacino covers it well. It'll simply be ball 2. That one catches the zone, strike 1. Two and 1, the count to Doctoroff. Hits a hard grounder, and it's fielded at second and thrown to first, and that will be out number 3. Brookline threatens but cannot score in the third. And through 3, our score, Boston Latin Academy 8, Brookline 4. Owen Hoffman returning to the mound for Brookline after he took over in relief last inning. He will be facing the 5, 6, 7 hitters for Boston Latin. Jacino, Ricard, and Fitzgerald. Was a tough third inning for Brookline, and it was tough for Hoffman. He quickly got the first out of the inning, and then after giving up an RBI single, a nice throw down at home, got the second out, and it seemed like he might escape with minimal damage. But then 2 more RBI singles, and then a runner coming in on a wild pitch exploded the score up to the 8-4 mark it is at now. Now leading off, the catcher, number 5, Orlando Jacino. First pitch from Hoffman misses in, ball 1. That one's going to miss high for ball 2. That one is also going to miss for ball 3. And it's a 4-pitch walk for Jacino. Rough start to the inning for Hoffman. Now coming up will be number 12, Robbie Ricard. No courtesy runner for Jacino this time. And that one is going to miss for ball 1. That one is in there for strike 1. That one's going to miss high for ball 2. Swing and a miss there, strike 2. This one is lifted out to right, tracked by Brendel for out number 1. One down and a runner at first. Up comes the right fielder, number 6, Harry Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald sliced that one foul, strike 1. Last time up, Fitzgerald drew a walk. He was the last batter to face Engelman, and so he is the last batter to face Hoffman for the first time. That one misses low, ball 1. And that one is going to miss for a low ball 2. And that one misses low as well for ball 3. And that one is going to be a high ball 4. So another walk puts 2 runners on with 1 out. As up comes the left fielder, number 2, Drew Isberg. That one in there, strike 1. Isberg, of course, had that very nice catch off the line drive by Siegel in the bottom of the 3rd. Skies this one. It's being tracked by Sawada, and he's got it. And that will be out number 2. Now coming up, second baseman, number 1, Henry Melkonian. And now the courtesy runner, number 16, is put in for Jacino. Very strange they didn't put him in right away, but He's on second base now. Melkonian hard grounder. It's blocked by Engelman, and he takes it to third himself for out number 3. So this time the Dragons threaten but cannot score. And as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning, the score remains Boston Latin Academy 8, Brookline 4. Due up for Brookline will be the top of the order, Sawada, Hoffman, and Brendel. Shapiro back out on the mound for his 4th inning of work. If he finishes this inning still in the lead, he will be the pitcher on credit for the win. Leading off for Brookline here in the bottom of the 4th, the shortstop, number 5, Keenan Sawada. First pitch is outside for ball 1. Sawada 0 for 1 so far today with a walk. Hard grounder dies on the grass, going to be scooped up by the second baseman and thrown to first for out number 1. So Shapiro gets a quick first out. And now coming up, the pitcher, number 2, Owen Hoffman. Hoffman couldn't help but go around on that one, strike 1. Hoffman's had the biggest hit of the day for Brookline so far, that 2-run single back in the 2nd. One of just 2 hits so far for Brookline as he swings and misses at that one. As that hit and Melton's single back in the 3rd are the only base hits so far for Brookline. That one sails high for ball 1. That one's going to come in high for ball 2. That one is going to miss outside ball 3. That one is also going to miss. Hoffman battles his way to a walk. So 1 out and a runner on, and up comes the right fielder, number 23, Elias Brendel. Brendel, his last time up, he hit a sac fly, which at the time gave Brookline a 4-3 lead. And that one misses for ball 1. Attempted pickoff, very close, but Hoffman gets back safely. 1-0, still the count to Brendel. And Brendel fouls this one off for strike one. Hoffman takes off. Brendel hits a grounder, fielded at second, thrown to first. That's an out. Hoffman trying to stretch it to third, and the third baseman could not snag the ball, and Hoffman does advance to third safely. So Brendel with the 4-3 ground out. Hoffman does, Hoffman does get to third. And so it'll be a runner at third with two down for the third baseman, number 17, Charlie Engelman. Big swing and a miss there for strike one. Engelman is last time up, grounded out back to the pitcher. And before that, drew a walk. This one comes in low for ball one. That one comes in well high for ball two. This one's a hard crack out to left. If it stays fair, it is fair. Charlie Engelman with an RBI double to deep left field. So Brookline back on the board off a big swing of the bat from Charlie Engelman. Owen Hoffman in to score. And now with a runner at second and two down, up comes the left fielder, number 3, Ryan Kravitz. First one is a ball one. Kravitz's last time up, he flew out to center. Before that, grounded out to short. Takes low, ball two. Gotta say, it's great to hear the Brookline dugout continuing to bring the noise, even as they try and fight back from a big deficit here. And that's going to be a high ball three. It's Kravitz with an early hitter's count here at 3-0. And that one misses. It's a 4-pitch walk for Ryan Kravitz. Now coming up, the designated hitter, number 14, Avery Melton. Melton got a single his last time up, but was left stranded on the base paths. And before that, grounded out to third. He slices this one foul for strike one. Engelman at second, Kravitz at first. Two down. That one comes in high. They throw back to first. They do not get the runner as Kravitz dives back safely. The Dragons have been very aggressive with their attempted pickoffs. No success yet, but you feel like they are so close so many times. That one curves in for strike two to Melton. 1-0 1-2 the count. That one's going to miss for ball 2. 2-2 the count. Melton skies this one out to right. Right fielder tracking it, and he's got it for out number 3. So Brookline gets a run back, but they still trail by 3. Our score at the end of 4, the Boston Latin Academy Dragons 8, the Brookline High Warriors 5. During this 4th inning intermission, I'd like to take a moment for a local charity spotlight. I'd like to tell you about Language Virtual. Language Virtual is a non-profit organization made by Brookline High School students in order to help other students all over the world. Language Virtual offers free English language lessons online to students around the globe. These lessons are taught by volunteer high school students, many of them from right here in Brookline, who are recruited by Language Virtual to teach these ELL lessons through the simplest, most tried and true method of learning a language: conversation. To date, Language Virtual has recruited over 100 teachers to teach over 700 students across more than 10 different countries. And with the ongoing conflict in Ukraine, Language Virtual has seen an influx of students of Ukrainian descent, displaced by the war, and hoping these English lessons can help them adjust to their new living situations. Visit languagevirtual.org to find out how you can register, either as a volunteer student teacher or as a student in need of English lessons. You can also donate money to Language Virtual to help them continue teaching students in need and fostering these worldwide connections. Once again, that's languagevirtual.org. And you can see a link to that website down in the description section of the video down below. So we go to the top of the 5th inning. Owen Hoffman back on the mound for Brookline. He'll be facing the top of the order for BLA, Gutman, and the 2 Shapiros. There is some action going in the Boston Latin bullpen as Hoffman delivers his first pitch to Gutman, and that's in there for strike 1. Brennan Shapiro, of course, now the pitcher on record for the win, having completed 4 innings as the game's starter. So even if he were to leave, he would still be on credit for the win, as that swing and a miss is strike 2 to Gutman. Gutman, his last time up, got an RBI single, as that one misses for ball 1. That one is going to miss low for ball 2. And this one sent out to right, and that's going to drop. And he thought about advancing to second as Brendel juggled that one, but he will stay at first with another single. So, runner on first. Up comes the center fielder, number 10, Jack Shapiro. First pitch comes in high for ball 1. Shapiro, his last time up, he got an RBI single. Before that, he reached on an error twice. This one is sliced foul and out of play for strike 1. Runner is taking off. Pitch misses for a ball, and Gutman is down to second with a successful steal. Swing and a miss there. That'll be strike 2. Gutman at second. Nobody out here in the top of the 5th. Runner taking off for third, and it's a hit and run out to left, and that is going to drop successfully. Gutman's going to come in to score easily. Shapiro trying to stretch this out to a double, and he slides in safely. Another RBI hit for Jack Shapiro. As Gutman comes in to score on the hit and run, and Shapiro stretches it out to second anyhow. Now up the pitcher, number 13, Brennan Shapiro. First pitch is in there for strike 1. Shapiro, his last time, Brennan Shapiro, his last time up, he drew a walk. Now up with nobody out, and Jack Shapiro at second as he takes ball 1 there. A 9-5 lead for Boston Latin Academy. As that one misses for ball 2. This one fouled off. Strike 2. Runner taking off for third, and it's going to be fouled off by Shapiro. And Jack Shapiro will have to go back to second. That pitch missed for ball 3. You could see Hoffman looking back even as he was winding up. As Jack Shapiro has already taken off for third once. And now this one is going to be ball 4. It was juggled briefly by Doctoroff, but ultimately Jack Shapiro holds. 2 runners on, and now it looks like we're going to see another relief pitcher coming in as the day ends for Hoffman. And Hoffman is going to go out to right field for a direct swap with the new reliever, number 23, Elias Brendel. So Hoffman ultimately pitches 2+ innings in relief as he came on with no outs in the third, although for some reason I thought there was 1 out, but there was not. And now Brendel coming on with nobody out here in the top of the 5th. This marks just the 2nd appearance on the mound for Elias Brendel. He's come on in relief 1 other time. I believe it was the game against Braintree. He's pitched 4 innings in that 1 appearance with 2 strikeouts. He's got an ERA of 5.25 and a whip of 2.25. So very small sample size for those stats. And Brendel coming in a tough spot here, with Brookline already trailing by 4. And 2 runners on with nobody out. The first batter he will face will be the cleanup hitter and shortstop for Boston Latin Academy, Theo Daner. So now coming up, shortstop number 15, Theo Daner. That first pitch is going to miss inside for ball 1. Interesting note I just realized is not a lot of strikeouts for either team. Both teams either drawing free passes or getting the bat on the ball very consistently. Just 2 strikeouts so far for Boston Latin, 0 strikeouts for Brookline hitters so far. Currently a 1-1 count to Daner. This one is golfed foul for strike 2. So it has been a very high-scoring outing for both teams, but Boston Latin has been doing a much better job of keeping their rallies going and getting a lot more runs on board. So that one is going to miss for ball 2. Attempted pickoff at second is not going to get Shapiro in time. Jack Shapiro took off for third once, but had to go back as the pitch was fouled off. Now he's taking off. Pitch is in. Throw down to third is not in time. And so both Shapiros will advance. But that pitch was called as strike 3 against Daner. So that will be the first out of the inning. And just the third strikeout for Boston Latin so far. So 1 out, and up to the plate comes the catcher, number 5, Orlando Giacino. First pitch is low, skips away, but not very far away, and so the runners hold. Giacino, his last time up, he drew a free pass. This one's fouled off, strike 1. Giacino, so far, he's had a sac fly. He's had what should have been a second sac fly, but ended up reaching on an E9. And then he's drawn a walk. Swing and a miss there, strike 2. So if not for that error out in right field, Giacino would have literally no at-bats so far despite 3 plate appearances, as he would have had 2 sac flies and a walk. This one comes in low for ball 2. Jack Shapiro at third, Brennan Shapiro at second. 1 out here in the top of the 5th. That one in there for strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Elias Brendel. Now coming up, number 12, Robbie Ricard. First one is going to miss inside, ball 1. That one's going to miss outside, ball 2. That one in there for strike 1. That one is going to miss for ball 3. 3-1, the count to Ricard. Brendel briefly steps off the rubber as a timeout is called. Both Doktorov and Sawada coming in. Doktorov discussing something with Sawada. Interesting what they might be thinking with the shortstop. As that one just misses ball 4. So now with the bases loaded and 2 outs, up comes the right fielder, number 6, Harry Fitzgerald. They have Sam Polgreen covering first for a potential pickoff move. As the first pitch comes in high to Fitzgerald, ball 1. They're not covering either of the other bags, either second or third. As that one is also going to miss for ball 2. Fitzgerald, his last time up, he drew a free pass back in the 4th inning. Also drew a free pass in the 3rd inning. And struck out in the 2nd. So 0 for 1 with a pair of walks. As Brendel steps off the rubber there. And that one is going to miss. 3 straight balls to Fitzgerald. And now 1 ball away from walking in a run. And that one is going to miss. It's a 4-pitch walk. And the struggles with the strike zone continue for Brookline pitchers as back-to-back walks bring in another run, and Boston Latin reaches double figures. Now with the bases still juiced, Up comes the left fielder, number 2, Drew Isberg. That first pitch is going to miss high for ball 1. That one hits for strike 1. Swing and a miss there, strike 2. Excuse me. 1-2 the count. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Boston Latin leads by 5. Isberg fouls this one off and stays live at 1-2. And again, Brendel steps off the rubber briefly. And that one flies out of his hand for a wild pitch, but none of the runners advance. It will simply be ball 2. Isberg 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored so far today. Now staring down a 2-2 count. And that one misses for ball 3. Full count, 2 down, bases loaded. And a timeout is called by the catcher, Doctoroff. Brendel has issued 2 straight walks after giving up 2 straight strikeouts. Nothing has been put in play against the third Brookline pitcher so far. And right now, staring down a full count. 1 pitch away from getting either another strikeout or another walk. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Elias Brendel comes in and with 3 strikeouts, he gets more Ks in 1 inning than all the rest of this game's pitchers combined, but does give up another run on a bases-loaded walk. So we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Boston Latin adds a couple more runs on the board to go up by 5, and we do have excuse me. Excuse me. Just needed a brief drink of water there. But we do have a new pitcher for the Dragons. This is number 8, Marco Sullivan. As he will take over for Brennan Shapiro. Pardon me for that. Just needed a brief break off the mic to clear up the throat a bit, but I'm good. So with Sullivan taking over for Brandon Shapiro on the mound, Shapiro himself moves to first, taking the spot of Mike Hampton. First to the plate for Brookline will be the center fielder, number 20, Harrison Siegel, as the first pitch misses for ball 1. And a timeout is called as the pitch was being thrown, so that will not count. Siegel, his last time up, got good contact, but a nice sliding catch and left by Isberg resulted in a flyout. That one is going to miss inside for ball 2. Siegel 0 for 2 so far today as he reached on an error his first time up, later came in to score. So 0 for 2 with a steal and a run. That one is going to miss outside as well for ball 3. Early hitters count Siegel here at 3-0. And it's going to be a 4-pitch walk for Siegel. And Brookline's got a leadoff runner aboard. And now coming up, second baseman number 15, Leander Gosling. First pitch is going to miss for ball 1. Oh, and they picked him off. Siegel completely tricked by the pickoff move from the lefty pitcher, Sullivan. And now the base is empty for Brookline with 1 out. That one is going to miss for ball 2. And it seems like the pitcher has to get a new glove. Gosling, his last time up, he drew a walk. And before that, he drew a walk again. So 0 for 0 so far with 2 walks and a run scored. That pitch gonna miss, ball 3. Sullivan has not thrown a strike yet after 7 pitches. And that one is going to be in for strike 1. That one is going to miss for ball 4. So another walk. As actually that was not Gosling. That was number 11, Nate Kessler. Pinch hitting for Gosling. I did not realize that. And now we've got another pinch hitter coming up in place of Doctoroff. This is number 12, Connor Jernigan. So a couple of surprise substitutions from a couple of players who are surprisingly not on the roster for today, or not in the starting lineup at least. Shouldn't say not on the roster because obviously they were listed on the bench, but now coming in as pinch hitters here. So Jernigan, you can see the stats for him so far this season: 7 for 27, a team leading 3 doubles, 3 walks, 1 hit by pitch, 3 runs scored, and 4 RBI. First pitch misses, ball 1. Brookline hoping to light some kind of spark here. First with Kessler and now with Jernigan. Big swing and a miss there, strike 1. Jernigan definitely got the biggest swing for Brookline, and that has resulted in him leading the team in extra base hits, but he also leads the team in strikeouts, as that one is going to miss for ball 2. That one hits him. That hit his foot. And so Jernigan draws a free pass with his second hit by pitch of the season. And now a meeting with the relief pitcher Sullivan, who's had a rough start outside of a very nice pickoff move that got him the first out of the inning. He's been struggling to find the zone. A 4-pitch walk to Siegel, a 5-pitch walk to Kessler. And then on his 4th pitch to Jernigan, he hits him. So through 13 pitches, he's only thrown 2 strikes so far. And he's about to face the top of the Brookline order and face off against the team leader in walks in Keenan Sawada. Sawada 0 for 2 with a walk so far today. A walk and a run scored. Brookline trying to put something together here in the bottom of the 5th inning. So after that lengthy pause, now it looks like we're ready to get things started up again. Sullivan's still on the mound, and now stepping up for Brookline, the shortstop, number 5, Keenan Sawada. First pitch, and Sawada lifts it, and it's going to stay in the infield for out number 2. And just like that, the situation changes drastically. Goes from 1 out and a reliever struggling to throw strikes to 1 pitch makes it 2 outs. This one going to sail high to Hoffman for ball 1. And that pitch inside for ball 2. Hoffman, his last time up, drew a walk, later came in to score. Before that, of course, he had his 2-run single in second, and before that flew out to right. So 1 for 2 so far with a walk, a run scored, and 2 RBIs. As that one misses high for ball 3, and Jernigan barely gets back to first on that pickoff move. 3-0, the count to Hoffman. And that's going to be another 4-pitch walk. 4 free passes issued to Brookline hitters here in this inning. Ironically, the only hitter not to get a free pass was Brookline's leader in free passes in Sawada. But now the base is loaded, and up comes the right fielder, number 23, Elias Brendel. That one misses, ball one. In fact, if not for a slick pickoff move by Sullivan and then a first pitch swing for a pop out, Brookline might not have any outs this inning. As that one misses for ball two. Brendel, last time up, he grounded out to second. Before that, he had a sac fly to right, and then before that, reached on an E3. That one in there for strike one. That one is going to miss for ball, or no, he called that a strike. I think. I think the count is 2-2. Brendel skies this one foul and out of play. So the count is 2-2. As Brendel stays alive with that foul ball. Sullivan starting to find the strike zone here. Brendel hits a hard grounder, but it's juggled by the second baseman. Everyone's going to reach, and a run's going to come in. Kessler comes in to score on the E4. Now we got another timeout, and we got a pitching change now. So that's the end of the day for Sullivan. An interesting play to end his day on, as that was probably the best at-bat he had had as a pitcher so far. But they are going to bring in a new pitcher for the Dragons here with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Now taking the mound is going to be number 9, Ryan Shields. So Sullivan pitches 2/3 of an inning. So it's this has really been a very strange bottom of the 5th inning. A 4-pitch walk started off, and then a slick pickoff move eliminated the first base runner, who would have been able to later come home on a set of free passes, as then a walk and a hit by pitch load the bases. And then after all these free passes, Brookline's team leader in free passes swings at the first pitch he sees and pops out to second for the second out, and then another walk Another walk actually loads the bases. And then of all things, it's a ball in play and a fielding error that brings in a run. So now Shields done warming up, and at the plate is Charlie Engelman as he takes the first pitch in for a strike. This is very, bringing some slow signals of balls and strikes. Maybe I'm just not able to hear his calls because of the noisy dugout. Big swing and a miss there. Strike 2 to Engelman. Jernigan at third, Hoffman at second, Brendel at first. Timeout called by Engelman. Engelman had a big RBI double his last time up. Brookline hoping for another big swing of the bat here. And he lifts this one. It's drifting. It's going to drop in center. 2 runs are going to come in for Brookline as Charlie Engelman bringing a clutch hit here in the bottom of the 5th. The 2-run single from Engelman drops perfectly in right center, scoring both Jernigan and Hoffman and advancing Brendel down to third. And now it's a 2-run game, and up comes the left fielder, number 3, Ryan Kravitz. Shields going to step off the rubber to check on Engelman over at first. And that almost hits him. It's a wild pitch. Brendel's coming in. It's a 1-run ball game with a tying run now in scoring position after that wild pitch. Came in behind Kravitz's back. So Brendel comes in to score. Engelman down to second. A base hit from Kravitz could tie this ball game, as that one's going to come in high for ball 2. That one is in there for strike 1. 2-1 the count. He lifts this one out to left center. Outfielders chasing it, and the left fielders got it for out number 3. But this ball game has become much closer as Brookline puts 4 runs on the board in the bottom of the 5th. Our score at the end of 5, Boston Latin Academy 10, Brookline 9. Get ready for the top of the 6th inning. Connor Jernigan manning the spot at first now. And we've got a new pitcher for Brookline. Number 15, Leander Gosling, taking over on the mound for Brendel. Owen Hoffman returns to second. Brendel goes out to right. Engelman staying at third. So I can only imagine that Kessler is taking the designated hitter spot, which must mean that Avery Melton is taking over behind the plate for Doctoroff, as Jernigan was batting in place of Doctoroff. So this is Gosling's first pitching outing of this 2023 season. He took the mound just once last year, pitched just 2/3 of an inning. So a very interesting call to the pen here for Brookline's fourth pitcher of the game. And so coming up will be the 9-1 two-hitters for BLA, Melkonian, Gutman, and Jack Shapiro. First up, the second baseman, number 1, Henry Melkonian. First pitch from Gosling comes in low for ball 1. Another pitch low for ball 2. That pitch in there for strike 1. It's been a long running game. We've already been at this for 2.5 hours. That's a swing and a miss for strike 2. This is what happens when both teams' offenses are producing runs. As that's a hard crack of the bat, snagged at third by Engelman, tries a long throw, got him! That one looked like infield single material for sure, but a hard throw from Engelman and the long reach from Jernigan resulted in a 5-3 groundout. Now first pitch to Gutman is in for strike 1. That one's going to come in high for ball 1. That one is fouled off for strike 2. That one's going to skip in the dirt for ball 2. 2-2, the count to Nuri Gutman. Lifts this one out to left. Kravitz is tracking it, and he's got it for out number 2. It's 2 quick outs, and now up center fielder number 10, Jack Shapiro. Fouls off the first pitch for strike 1. Shapiro has reached safely on all 4 of his plate appearances, 2 reach-on errors, and 2 RBI hits. As that one is going to miss for ball 1. That one also going to miss, ball 2. This one is lifted, shallow right. Brendel's tracking, and he's got it for out number 3. So for the first time from either side today, the hitters go down in order, and you can feel the energy from the Brookline side as they are hoping to complete another comeback. They trail 10-9 going into the bottom of the 6th. We've got another new pitcher for Latin Academy here in the bottom of the 6th inning. This is number 15, Theo Daner, coming in from short to take over for Ryan Shields, who is now manning the spot at second, while Jack Shapiro takes over at short. So Daner now the 4th pitcher for BLA here in this chaotic contest. He will be facing the 6, 7, 8 hitters for Brookline: Melton, Siegel, and Kessler. So now stepping in for Brookline, the catcher, number 14, Avery Melton. Melton, his last time up, he flew out to right to end the 4th inning. Before that, he got a single, and before that, grounded out to third. So 1 for 3 so far today. First pitch in there, strike 1. And it really just is that with the noise coming from the dugouts, I cannot hear the ball and strike calls from the ump, so I have to look for the signal, as that one's going to miss outside for ball 1. That one in there, strike 2. 1 and 2, the count to Melton. And the ump taking a moment to brush off home plate. And you can understand it getting a little mucked up, as 19 players have come across that plate to score between these two teams so far today. 10-9, the Latin Academy lead over Brookline. Delayed swing, Melton hits a chopper over to third, and that's going to be foul. And another defensive swing from Melton, and he stays alive at 1 and 2. Delayed swing, and he bloops it out to right, and that's going to drop. That time, the defensive swing pays off for Melton with a clean single to right. Melton with his second hit of the day. And Brookline's got the potential tying run now at first base. And they're going to send out a pinch runner. Now in as the courtesy runner for the catcher is number 18, Alec Robin. Robin has been operating primarily as a pinch runner or courtesy runner for Brookline. He has got 2 stolen bases and 3 runs scored on the season so far, and they're hoping he'll get his 4th run scored as an attempted pickoff. And Robin gets back safely. Again, we've seen some aggressive pickoff throws from Latin Academy. They caught Siegel at first last inning, and now Harrison Siegel at the plate for Brookline. Shows bunt, lays down the bunt, and it's juggled by the pitcher, but he picks it up, throws to first. And Robin is taking off for third. He's trying to stretch this one, and it fails. Robin was trying to catch them without a fielder covering third, but they recovered, and they turned the double play. So just like that, Brookline goes from 1 out with the tying run at second to 2 outs, bases empty. And this is Leander Gosling back at the plate for Brookline instead of Nate Kessler. And Gosling golfs this one deep to right, and the right fielder is under it for out number 3. So over-aggressive base running turns out to be the doom for Brookline as they fail to score in the 6th, and they still trail by 1. So Gosling returns to the mound for another inning of relief. He will be facing the 3-4-5 hitters for BLA. Brennan Shapiro, Theo Daner, and Orlando Giacino. It's been overall a very good offensive outing for Brookline, but still a couple of runs that could have been that ultimately weren't, either due to some base running mistakes or just failing to capitalize on opportunities. And if Brookline is not able to complete this comeback in the bottom of the 7th, there's going to be a number of shoulda, coulda, wouldas to go around. But for now, this game's not over. Leading off is number 13, Brennan Shapiro, as he swings and misses at strike 1. That's going to be high ball 1. This one is skied out into left field in foul territory, and it's going to be out of reach. So that'll simply be strike 2. And that one skips in the dirt for ball 2. That one is going to miss outside for ball 3. So a full count to Brennan Shapiro. Miss. No, didn't miss. Caught the inside corner. Strike 3. Shapiro thought for sure he had the walk. but instead that'll be out number 1. Now up, the pitcher, number 15, Theo Daner. That one is going to miss for ball 1. And that is strike 1. That one's fouled off for strike 2. One and 2 the count. And that one's well high for ball 2. That one's strike 3. Gosling with back-to-back strikeouts. 2 down, and up comes the catcher, number 5, Orlando Giacino. That one's high for ball 1. This one is skied. It's going to stay in the infield. Hoffman's under it, and he's got it. And once again, Latin Academy put down an order, but they do still hold the lead as we go into the bottom of the 7th. The score, Boston Latin Academy 10, Brookline 9. It'll be the 9-1-2 hitters due up for Brookline, Jernigan, Sawada, and Hoffman. Daner back out on the mound, trying to close this one out for the Dragons. If he finishes the job here, he will earn a save. And if that happens, Brennan Shapiro will still be the pitcher on record for the win, and Charlie Engelman still on credit for the loss, as Latin Academy has led ever since they went up 5-4, and then further extended that lead to 8-4. Then after Brookline chipped into it and made it 8-5, Latin Academy put up 2 more runs, made it 10-5. Brookline had a big 4-run rally back in the 5th, but they are still 1 run short as of right now. And again, between some costly fielding mistakes, some costly base running mistakes, there's plenty of hypotheticals to think about if you're Brookline, but for right now, the focus has got to be on the moment. And leading off for Brookline will be the first baseman, number 12, Connor Jernigan. First pitch, and he slices it. And it bounces right in between my equipment, and so everything is fine. Don't worry. We're still good here. But boy, if that wasn't just my biggest fear personified, as that pitch misses for ball 1. And that pitch is going to miss for ball 2. Fouled off, strike 2. Jernigan came in as a pinch hitter for Ben Doctoroff and was hit by a pitch back in the 5th inning. Trying to make something happen here. 2-2 the count. And he fouls it off. Jernigan still alive at 2-2. And he chases that one, strike 3. First strikeout of the entire day for Brookline. And now 1 down. Up comes the shortstop, number 5, Keenan Sawada. Sawada 0 for 3 with a walk and a run so far today. And he takes strike 1. And he fouls that one off for strike 2. That one in the dirt, ball 1. Sawada lifts this one. And it's going to be foul and out of play. Sawada stays alive at 1-2. And Sawada hits a dribbler up the first base line, and it's foul. Shapiro tried to snag it before it rolled foul, but could not. Sawada still alive, 1-2, still the count. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Daner coming through clutch for Latin Academy here in the bottom of the 7th so far. And now with 2 down, Brookline down to their last chance with this, with number 2, Owen Hoffman. First pitch misses, ball 1. Hoffman's had a big day at the plate for Brookline so far today. Hits a hard grounder, fielded at third, thrown to first, and that is the ball game. Boston Latin Academy hangs on to defeat Brookline. The final score, the Boston Latin Academy Dragons 10, the Brookline Warriors 9. Another tough loss for Brookline. Their 5th straight as they fall to 3-9 on the year. And their 2nd straight where the offense did show up, but in the end it just wasn't enough. What a wild one this was. Recapping the game real quick. Latin Academy put 2 runs on the board in the 1st inning off a leadoff walk and then an E5 that brought in the 1st run. A double put runners at 2nd and 3rd, and then a sac fly brought in the 2nd run. as the Dragons went up 2-0 after 1. Brookline got 2 runners on with 2 outs in the bottom of the first, but could not advance them. In the top of the second, Latin Academy managed to put up another run off of an E8 and went up 3-0. In the bottom of the second, Brookline got their scoring started. First, Harrison Siegel reached on an E5, then stole second, went to third on a wild pitch, and then came home on a throwing error by the catcher. Then 3 straight walks loaded the bases, and Owen Hoffman came through with a 2-run single, and Elias Brendel followed up with a sac fly to make it 4-3 Brookline. But in the top of the third, Boston Latin answered. A leadoff walk, 2 wild pitches, and then an E9 on what would have been a sac fly anyhow, brought in the tying run. Then back-to-back walks loaded the bases, and then after a pop out to third, got the actual first out. It was an RBI single from Henry Melkonian, and although the second runner was thrown out at home for the second out, there were then back-to-back RBI hits from Nuri Gutman and Jack Shapiro to put 2 more runs on the board, and then Gutman came in on a wild pitch as Boston Latin got out to an 8-4 lead at the end of the third. Brookline got 2 runners on in the bottom of the third, but could not advance them any further. In the top of the fourth, Boston Latin got 2 runners on, but could not advance, but could not get them home. In the bottom of the fourth, Brookline did get a run home. Owen Hoffman drew a walk, advanced on a hit-and-run ground-out all the way to third, and then Charlie Engelman came through with an RBI double to drive in Hoffman, make it 8-5. But then in the top of the fifth, Boston Latin exploded again, added 2 more runs on the board off a leadoff single from Gutman, who stole second, and then a double, an RBI double from Jack Shapiro brought in Gutman. And then after a walk and a couple stolen bases, despite 2 outs, a pair of back-to-back walks from Robbie Ricard and Harry Fitzgerald brought in Shapiro for the second run, made it 10-5 Boston Latin. In the bottom of the fifth, Brookline started to rally. Harrison Siegel got a leadoff walk but was picked off at first. And then Nate Kessler, temporarily pinch hitting for Leander Gosling, drew a walk. Then Connor Jernigan, as a pinch hitter, was hit by a pitch. 2 batters later, Hoffman drew a walk to load the bases. And then Elias Brendel reached on an E4 that brought in Kessler. And then Engelman came through with a big 2-run single. And then Brendel scored on a wild pitch. That made it 10-9 at the end of 5. In the top of the sixth, Boston Latin went down in order. In the bottom of the sixth, Brookline got a leadoff runner on a single and then moved him along on a sacrifice bunt, but the runner tried to advance further down to third and was thrown out. And that was how the inning ended with no score. Top of the seventh, Boston Latin also went down in order, but then in the bottom of the seventh, for the first time, Brookline went down in order, and that ended the ball game. Final score, Boston Latin Academy 10, Brookline 9. Thank you so much for tuning in today, folks. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Remember, if you enjoyed the live stream, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all my upcoming live streams. I'll be out on the lacrosse field tomorrow morning as Brookline girls lacrosse will be hosting Weston. So that should be fun. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you got anything you'd like to say, I encourage you to say it in the comment section down below after the live stream is concluded. Also, go down below to the description section of the video where you can find all the information you need about our local charity spotlight, Language Virtual. And check out the bottom right corner of your screen where you can see some information about me, my personal website, jessesports.com, my email address if you want to contact me directly, and my Instagram if you want to follow me on Instagram, where I post highlights from previous live streams. But for this live stream, that is going to do it. Boston Latin Academy 10, Brookline 9. I'm Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan from Warren Field. Thank you all for watching, and have a good night.